Hey everyone, I'm Sarah from Adults in Disney. I'm half of the Adults in Disney team, Jeff's the other half. So this video is going to cover kind of our planning that we've been doing for our trip to Shanghai Disneyland and Disney Hong Kong this coming December. This will be our first time going to both of these parks. So up until then, we've gone to every other Disney park. Disney World is our home park, so we go there pretty frequently, about once a month. We also go out to Disneyland in California. We've been to Tokyo Disney twice, so we love Tokyo Disney, and then we've also been to Disneyland Paris once before. So Shanghai Disney and Disney Hong Kong are our last two to go to. So how do we plan these trips, or how have we been planning this trip in December so far? The two big things that I'm going to talk about in this video are going to be how we booked our flight and kind of the decisions that went into that. I'm also going to talk a bit about reserving the hotels. So those two things we have kind of squared away. The things we have not yet done are figure out how we are going to be getting from the hotel or to the airport, or from the airport to the hotels. So any of those kind of transfers we haven't yet sorted out. Also, we haven't really looked too much into how we're gonna do the Wi-Fi and cell service when we're abroad. So that's something else we still need to investigate some more. But again, we're gonna focus right now on kind of booking flights to Hong Kong and Shanghai and what we did, and then also how we decided where we wanna stay for these two parks. First, let's start with the flights. Whenever we're traveling abroad, we try to book our flights on points. So what this means is we're gonna use some of our airline points or airline miles and book those to pay for our flight abroad. So when we're traveling, for example, when we went to Tokyo, both times we used points in order to book those trips. So we'll take the points, we might have to pay a little bit towards fees or taxes, but for the most part, that's gonna be all we'll pay. Typically maybe a couple $100 towards the ticket. What we get in exchange is often a business or first class ticket. One kind of trick with booking these flights though is you have to book or choose your dates based on what's available. So our first thing for when we were booking our Hong Kong and Shanghai flights, we're seeing what was available during the time we were looking to go. So we were shooting for mid-December. When we were looking for flights, we found a really good flight on Cathay Pacific that would get us from the US. So we're actually gonna be leaving from New York, and it takes us direct to Hong Kong. Not only did it take us direct to Hong Kong, but we could book the ticket so that we had a layover in Hong Kong and it would finish the flight in Shanghai. So one ticket worth of points got us to both go from the US to Hong Kong to Shanghai. So what does this ticket actually look like? So what it is gonna be is a first class ticket or business class ticket on Cathay Pacific, and we're gonna leave on December 16th at 1 a.m. and we will arrive in Hong Kong at 6 a.m. on December 17th. So it's a really long flight, but you also have the time change, so that's what causes you to lose the day in the process over. When we are going to Hong Kong, again, it's a long flight, so we wanted to try to find a business first class type seat so that we could relax and kind of be ready for Disney. Similar, when we went to Tokyo, we booked on first class ANA. The experience was amazing. So it makes the flight go really fast. We're able to rest, you have great food. So having experienced that kind of situation, we really wanted the same experience for going back over to these Hong Kong, Shanghai. So we were able to find that availability, and we're really looking forward. This will be our first time on Cathay Pacific, so we're really looking forward to that flight over to Hong Kong. Again, we had that bonus in that we are able to get it, so it's a layover ticket. So we're flying and arrive on the 17th to Hong Kong. We're gonna have 2 nights in Hong Kong. We'll leave on the 19th to go to Shanghai. So one ticket worth of points got us on both of those legs. So got us to Hong Kong and from Hong Kong to Shanghai. Once we had that flight squared away, the next thing was finding a flight home. So with that one, we were looking to see what miles we had and what kind of flights were available for getting us home. And we found a flight on December 23rd that left from Shanghai back to the US, and it was on Delta. So in this case, we booked with points on Delta 1, which is their first class equivalent. And so again, it should be a really nice kind of relaxing flight home. Again, if you have flexible dates and points, you can make the combination pretty easily. So you can hopefully try to find some type of combination that works for your trip. And so for us, kind of these two flights were what made it so that we'd have enough time in both Hong Kong and Shanghai. The next thing I want to talk about is how we decided on hotels. So we're going to have 2 nights in Hong Kong and we're going to have 4 nights in Shanghai Disney. Shanghai is a little bit bigger. There was kind of more that we wanted to see there, so we wanted a bit of extra time in those parks. For Hong Kong, so we're going there first, we'll kind of start there with the hotels. When we're staying in a Disney park for the first time, we want to stay on Disney property. When we go to Disney World, we'll often stay at the Swan and Dolphin, which is technically owned by Marriott. It's not owned by Disney, even though it is located right by Epcot and Hollywood Studios. And the reason for that is we can use points. But when we go to a park for the first time, we want to stay on Disney property. So when we went to Disneyland Paris, we stayed at the Disneyland Hotel. When we went to Tokyo Disney, we stayed at Hotel Miracosta and the Disneyland Hotel. We've also stayed at the Sheraton in Tokyo and we've enjoyed that, but we want to get the full experience. So when we were going and looking at Hong Kong, there's 3 hotels there that you can pick from. So the first one is going to be the Disneyland Hotel. There's also the Explorers Lodge and the Hollywood Hotel. We have a few friends that have been to Hong Kong before, and so we asked them their opinions of the different resorts. We've also looked at a bunch of pictures online, did our research, kind of see which one had the feel that we thought we'd like the most, and we settled on the Explorers Lodge. The reason we picked it again is it had more American amenities from what some people had said, so food and coffee and some of the things that we're more accustomed to had it kind of preference for us. All 3 of the resorts in Hong Kong are walkable, so which one is closest didn't really matter to us. We don't mind walking at all. It's not going to be super hot because it's December. So for us, we wanted the feel and the theming of Explorers Lodge as well as some of the amenities that are available there. So we booked 2 nights in the Explorers Lodge just at a standard room. When we were booking it through the Disney website, it had a combo with the room, the ticket, and it also included a free room upgrade. So we're not 100% sure kind of what exact room we'll end up getting. We just booked kind of the cheapest standard one there, but I believe it's just a step up, so maybe we'll have a slightly better view when we get there. So again, because we booked it through the Disney website, we just added the tickets on right there. We crunched the numbers, it was the same price. So we have our hotel squared away for Hong Kong and our tickets. When we were looking at Shanghai, so for Shanghai, there's 2 Disney-owned properties. With Shanghai, you have the Disneyland Hotel, which is a very nice hotel, and then you have the Toy Story Hotel, which is more of a value hotel. So if you're familiar with Disney World, it's more on the value side of All-Star, Pop Century, Art of Animation, so those type of hotels, much more affordable. For us, we wanted to stay all 4 nights in the Disneyland Hotel. We're not sure when we'll go back to Shanghai, and so we just wanted to be able to experience it to the fullest. And so for us, we figured this will be where our big splurge is on the trip. We booked the flights with points, and so kind of our big splurge to ourselves was going to be the hotel in Shanghai. Also, because we're there for 4 nights, we're going to be probably at the hotel a bit more, and we want to be able to kind of have nice accommodations when we're there. So what we did is we got 2 nights with a regular room, so just a standard room, and then we did 2 nights at concierge level. And the reason we did this is we just wanted to kind of experience what concierge level is. We had read some really great reviews of it online, and it comes with food and beverages and tea, and we really wanted to be able to kind of experience that. And so we didn't want to do the concierge for all 4 nights, and so we decided to split 2 and 2, and that would give us kind of a chance to save a little money with a standard room for 2 nights, but then be able to get the full kind of fancy experience for the other 2 nights. And again, for us, just looking at the hotels, talking to a few people, our preference was for the Disneyland Hotel. We just thought the theming, the amenities, the kind of atmosphere there was what fit best for us, as opposed to the Toy Story Hotel, which still looked really cute theming, but we just felt the Disneyland Hotel was kind of our ideal situation. So now that we have kind of our hotel squared away, our flights squared away, our next few things that we have to start looking into more are going to be cell phone service, particularly in China. We need to see how we can access our social media apps to be able to share our experience. So we're going to start digging into that some more. We're also going to need to look into how we're getting from the airport to Disney and making sure that's all squared away prior to us going abroad. And there'll be other little details we'll have to sort out along the way. But planning wise, the flight was a big one. Hotels was another big kind of splurge, so that was actually the money. But those are all squared away. Also, one thing I forgot to mention about the flights is because we booked them on points, you have to book them about 11 months prior to travel. So those we booked a long time ago. Our hotels we just booked somewhat recently. So we wanted to get a bit closer, see if they had any offers that came out. And so we had a few of those pop up, and so we went ahead and booked them now. But thank you all for checking in, and we hope to bring you along when we're actually over in Hong Kong and Shanghai.